glad and excited to welcome Athena Demos from Big Rock XR for our keynote, Building Community in the Metaverse Through the Principle of Burning Man. Athena, I had a look to your website and it's just mind-blowing, and I'm in a hurry to enjoy your presentation. So welcome, and up to you.
Thank you so much, Laurent. I am pleased to round out the day's activities. So thank you.
Thanks to you.
So hi, everyone. I'm Athena Demos. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Big Rock XR.com on our website. Big Rock is tasked with creating one of the most community-driven events in the world, Burning Man. BRC, or Black Rock City Virtual Reality, is an award-winning official virtual Burning Man experience. Our intention was not to create a digital twin or even to create an event on a new platform. We had no exit strategy. Our intention was to create a digital space for the global burners to gather during COVID. One that was familiar, provided a sense of one that would welcome everyone home, and one that creativity. We provided tools to the community to dive into something and build their art. Hammer and nails could now translate their art into the digital space and share it with the world. So 2 years of their art in the digital world also informed the engineering for the physical pieces that would be built at Burning Man in 2022. We did what we knew how to do, bring communities together and provide a space for human connection. That's Burning Man, that's Black Rock City, and that's BRCVR. Now, people say what we did with BRCVR was a type of metaverse, a common space with over 200 worlds. But if you really think about it, Burning Man is a type of physical metaverse. You have the interconnected space of the desert floor, the playa, that bridges diverse worlds together, generating a wide array of creators, sharing the experience with everyone, and translating that into the digital space for BRCVR. That was organic. So this year, we went to Black Rock City and documented the magic and the majesty in 360 and 180 3D video formats. We captured moments that tell the story of community. And now we're innovating the next generation of storytelling, combining the 3D digital assets with the newly captured video content in a non-linear participatory experience that we call the BRCVR Immersive Documentary Experience. Now, Merriam-Webster defines the metaverse as an immersive three-dimensional virtual worlds in which people interact as avatars with each other. Well, that's just basic human connection. The Burning Man event has been doing this for 35 years, and every year we assess what worked and what did not, then we course correct at the organizational level as well as the community level. We are a hive that everyone is in part of, including you. So normally this is where I ask the question, how many people have been to Black Rock City, Nevada, the Burning Man event itself? And everyone raises their hands, but you can put it in the chat. Let us know if you've been to Burning Man, maybe even put the years that you went. And how many people have gone to your local regional events in your area? It happens in like 40, 44 states. It happens in countries all over the world. There's an event that happened last weekend and the weekend before, and there's one coming up this weekend. Burning Man is year round. But then I like to ask the question, how many people have never heard of Burning Man before at all? You don't know what I'm talking about. And the picture you see before you is completely foreign. There are people out there, and I love you because it allows me to say this. Burning Man is an event at the end of August that happens in the Black Rock Desert in northern Nevada. It is one of the most desolate, inhospitable, dusty places on earth, where 80,000 people build a city, live in it for 2 weeks, and remove everything as if we were never there, leaving no trace, creating the largest and longest running social experiment in human history. But Burning Man is not just an event. Burning Man is in our hearts. Marian Goodell, the CEO of Burning Man, said as she canceled the event for the first time in 35 years that you can cancel Black Rock City, but you can't cancel Burning Man. It's a culture and an ethos and a way of life, and at its core are 10 principles, not as a way to define us, but merely to describe us. What it looks like when we're burning, what humanity is when we're at our best. And this, by the way, is our team producing our virtual burn from 2021. And you can see we're all in our headsets. We're all in different instances of similar experiences, moderating, making sure all the technology works. And in the middle on the top, you can see avatars, and this is on AltSpace, watching live fire spinners spinning right before the man is going to burn. So we are watching the avatars, watching the live performers, and we're all together in a common space, sharing human connection. So these 10 principles, the principles of Burning Man, are a strong foundational fabric for creative collaboration to thrive on. And ultimately, everything that we are building and everything we've talked about all day today and tomorrow is about creative collaboration. How can we all work together to make what we want to see that is the metaverse and Web3 a reality? So let's describe the metaverse, not define it, because there's no universally accepted definition of what the metaverse is, but there was no definition of what the internet ultimately became either. So I've noticed several leaders in the industry outlining similar thoughts on the metaverse. Matthew Ball talks about his 7 attributes. Tony Parisi has his 7 rules. Christopher Lafayette talks about humanity first. The XR Guild has 10 principles. And even the community standards of AltSpace, rest in peace, all outlined something similar. Tools for human connection. That's really what we talked about today. So let's look at the principles of Burning Man and see how we can describe the metaverse and not define it. So I am going to use Matthew Ball's 7 attributes and see how they match up with these 10 principles. And I will go into depth into each one of the principles to help you understand. Matthew, in his attributes, said that it must be persistent. The metaverse will be persistent, which is to say that it never ends. It doesn't reset. It doesn't pause. It's not a game that you can come back to in the exact same place. It's life. The metaverse needs to be persistent in order for all of us to participate within it. And so participation is connected to being persistent. Our community is committed to a radically participatory ethic. Participation leads to transformational change. And in fact, we achieve being through doing. So I like to say enough about UX. We love to talk about UX, but let's design for PX, the participants experience, because we're all participants in the metaverse. We're not users anymore. That it will be synchronous and live. That even though pre-scheduled and self-contained events will happen just as they do in real life, The metaverse will be a living experience that exists consistently for everyone in real time. Well, that is our touchstone principle of immediacy. Immediacy experience is in many ways the most important touchstone of value within our culture. It is our be here now. And when we occupy our avatars, we embody a sense of presence within the metaverse that allows us to have human connection with other embodied avatars. He said that it will be without a cap to concurrent users, while also providing each user with a sense of individual presence. Now, everyone can be a part of the metaverse and participate in a specific event or place or activity together at the same time and with individual agency. And that is radical inclusion, because anyone can be a part of our community. We welcome the stranger. No prerequisite exists for participation in our community or in the metaverse as a whole. Now, I want to point something out about these. If you notice, the principles are all states of doing, they're all action words, and the attributes are all states of being. We achieve being through doing, which means we can achieve these metaverse descriptors by doing these actions. And that is why the social experiment of Burning Man has been so successful. 35 years. So let's keep going. He said that it will have a fully functioning economy. Individuals and businesses will be able to create, own, and invest and sell and be rewarded for an incredibly wide range of work that produces value that is recognized by others. Work produces value and is recognized by others. And in many ways, this is where Web3 comes in. But in the Burning Man community, we have gifting and decommodification at the core of our economy. Gifting says that our community is devoted to acts of giving, that the value of a gift is unconditional, and gifting does not contemplate a return or an exchange of something of equal value. That would be barter and transactional. And decommodification keeps gifting pure. In order to preserve the spirit of gifting, our community seeks to create social environments that are unmediated by commercial sponsorships, transactions, and advertising. And we stand ready to protect our culture from such exploitation. We resist the substitution of consumption for participatory experience. Now, that's a lot of words, but basically it says, don't sell your soul for the expectation of reciprocity. Now, we need to make money. I understand. So how does this fit in? We need to maintain decommodified spaces. And what does that look like in the physical world? Well, that means that we can have national parks, town squares, the Zocalo, places where people can gather, share ideas, and be free to express themselves. And then we can walk into the mall or go into the casino or go to the nightclub. But in these connector spaces, these decommodified spaces, we are free to be radically inclusive, participatory, radically self-reliant, and radically self-expressive. That it will be an experience that spans both the digital and the physical worlds, private and public networks, and experience open and closed. Well, this fits with leaving no trace. Our community respects the environment, and this experience spans both the digital and the physical worlds. We need to respect them both. You cannot exist digitally if you do not exist physically. At this point in time, we absolutely need both. And we need to take care of our physical space, our physical being, while we are in the digital worlds. It will offer an unprecedented interoperability, and I know we're all working on that together right now. And this ties to my favorite principle, which is communal effort. Our community values creative cooperation and collaboration. The metaverse needs all of us to put forth the greatest communal effort to create something with a strong foundational fabric. That it will be populated by content and experiences created and operated by an incredibly wide range of contributors, some of whom are independent individuals, while others are organized groups or commercially focused enterprises. Well, that fits into radical self-reliance and radical self-expression. Now, Reliance says that our community encourages the individuals to discover and exercise and rely on their inner resources. So you need to create a space and a place where community is encouraged to be self-reliant. And radical self-expression allows people to arise from the unique gifts of the individual. No other person than the individual or a collaborative group can determine its content, and it is offered as a gift to others. In this spirit, our giver should respect the rights and liberties of the recipient. Give them the tools and the freedom to create. And all of this is our civic responsibility to all of humankind who are participating in the metaverse, the digital and the physical. The principles of Burning Man are all interrelated. And I said that so funny, communal effort is my favorite, because communal effort connects them all. With communal effort, it encourages you to create something larger than what you can do yourself. Therefore, you radically include others to participate. And their participation is a decommodified gift that nurtures the radical self-reliance and provides a space for radical self-expression. Communal effort is our civic responsibility in the immediate moment to build community. We can consciously create the metaverse to uplift society, to evolve into humanity, humane beings, collaborating together with compassion and kindness for the greater good. So the principles of Burning Man provide a framework to describe what it means to be humane beings in the metaverse. Let's continue this social experiment in the digital space by creating a place we all want to participate in. Thank you. And hopefully,
Thanks to you. Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
hopefully we
sorry,
have
sorry.
time for a few questions.
Yeah. I have. It's highly inspiring. I was fascinating and thinking in the same time, Athena, because I see that what you are doing, you are inspired by similar. You have similar source of inspiration that we try to bring also. And I was thinking about how what we could engage further after this first summit. For me, it's a real pleasure to to uh, to uh, to see you taking part and bringing your experience and what you what guides you. And for me, it's really the main purpose of Web3 Stronger Together. I mean, having trying to deliver a new experience where each one and everyone from everywhere could take part in, and there is few keywords that really sounds good and inspire me. Uh, uh, I have inspired and decided to launch this initiative Web3 Stronger Together to spread a different speech talk that we can usually hear, and far away from being guided by short-term profit to the moon, Lambo, and so on. But rather than this, trying to experiment a new behavior, a new paradigm, and what you are doing, it's just mind blowing. Thanks a lot for taking part in this journey. I have personally a question. Why have you decided to launch this project and to put your energy, your inspiration, your effort to deliver such an experience?
It was just to fill the need. Really, it was answering the call of the immediacy principle. COVID was hitting, Burning Man was canceled, the community was looking for a way of getting together. I had started working a long time ago, 2015, on a virtual version of Burning Man, but it was single user, and Burning Man doesn't exist without community, so it didn't really keep going. And uh, but we had the model. And so in 2020, and with AltSpace and all the different platforms that were available and the advancement in technology, which really happened quickly, we were able to bring the community together. So really it was answering the need of the community and the artists who needed to express themselves. They needed to share their art with the world. And the world needed to receive it and come together and enjoy it. And that is what we created with BRCVR.
You know, for me, it sounds like a strong, intense brief of hope, seeing that there is so smart and people, you know, trying to what is being a human. You know, we are all now constantly and even more in blockchain, Web3. It's a crazy innovation race, and in my opinion, we too often forget that it's built by humans for humans. And I try to engage the whole ecosystem to again be not user centric but human centric, and
Yes.
trying how we can try to experiment, because for me it's all about experimentation, experiment new behavior, new business model, new attitude and new way of thinking. The previous panel discussion, we were discussing about what kind of change, how we could bring a real concrete change for each one, everyone, everywhere, and not just for privileged people. I said that I used to answer, we need philosopher. And thanks for bringing your vision. I feel your energy. For me, it's a real gift. It has been a really intense period to organize this first virtual summit. I haven't slept a lot. My team the same.
I
You know,
understand.
I assume I am a emotive person, and I'm not afraid to share my emotion. It was stressing, but for me, it's a pure gift. I really, from my soul, tell you thank you. It's really precious. You give me the energy, the force, the courage to keep going. And I'm sure, Athena, that we will do things together. I have a few ideas in mind. I will come back to you as soon as the
Okay.
summit is
Love
ended
it.
next week. We have to discuss and to see how we can join our force and effort and our ideas, inspiration to bring this opportunity, this hope, much to a much bigger audience community, and to try to really contribute to a real tangible change. Keep building. It's just fantastic. I'm really honored to have you on stage, and to be able to share what you are doing, what you are building to our community.
Well, I do want to say one of the reasons why we chose AltSpace, because at the time we could have chosen any platform. We could have gone to VR Chat, we could have gone to Engage. We looked at a lot of platforms, and now there's even more. But one of the reasons why we chose AltSpace is because their community standards, first of all, they had community standards. So I encourage everyone who's building any type of platform, build community standards, because what those community standards tell the people that are coming onto the platform is what is the foundation of that platform. The community standards of AltSpace read like the principles of Burning Man. They were very, very similar. And so when I read them, I was like, oh, like I get where this community is. Now it turned out that the men that created Altspace at the beginning were burners, and they loved the principles and what they stood for. And so they wrote them into their community standards. So that ended up being part of our mythology story. We didn't know. And there's a lot of the mythology story that unfolded as we built onto the platform and why it was so perfect. And believe me, Altspace, not that it's a perfect platform, but it was one of the most perfect platforms. And it's sad to see it sunset on March 10th. I know Microsoft has really good reasons. I don't know what they are. And it is making us all sad to see it go. But I encourage everyone to write community standards into your platform. And I'm happy to help you. I'm happy to help you integrate the principles of Burning Man. They're really the principles of humanity and how we can all work together to create a stronger community. And that's what you want. You want a strong community and you want a big community. We're all trying to bring people together on these platforms. So I encourage you to think about that and to start putting it together. And if you're interested, reach out to me on LinkedIn and I'm happy to help.
I will personally do it, Athena. Trust me, because it's running in my mind
Right?
now. I think before sleeping, I will think about it again and again. It's a privilege, and for me, it's I often say that if I wasn't doing what I do in Web3, trying to contribute to deliver an alternative, I think that I would consider that my life would be useless, and hopefully through this journey, I'm able to meet person like you, and for me it's a gift from life. Thank you. You can't imagine how precious it is for me. I have no words. I'm a writer, but time to time, it's blank page.
That's what we have Chat GPT for.
I prefer to choose my words still.
I understand.
Yeah. I know, and it's just magic, and you confirm that together we can really imagine and realize what most of the people could consider crazy things, but at the end of the day, it's a reality, it's a shared dream, and it's kind of initiative that can bring a real tangible change. And our current society, our world is highly in need of changing mentality, behavior, and paradigm. And you bring a valuable.
Thank you. Well, I truly believe that we can use the metaverse to formulate what we would an experiment. Burning Man's a social experiment. So we can continue that experiment in the metaverse, practice being good, humane beings to each other, sharing kindness and collaborating and creating for the greater good, and then learn what we did and then duplicate that in the physical world. We're so busy only looking at one direction. How can we take the physical world and put it into the digital? But let's ideate on these amazing ways that we can be with each other and uplift ourselves to evolve from society to humanity. We're not humanity yet. We like to call ourselves that. We like to call ourselves human beings. But really, what does that mean? It means that we're humane beings. And humane beings are kind to each other. And we're like that some of the time, but not all of the time. So let's practice in the metaverse and then bring it into reality in our physical worlds.
Adena, I often discuss with some European politicians, and when we talk about the metaverse, they quickly talk about regulation, and I say, guys, hold on. Let's embrace the metaverse just to improve one thing. Law implementation process. You know, in real life, it's tricky to change things and takes time. And if we made a mistake, it can have really hard side
Right.
effect, and it's hard to roll back. But in the metaverse, you can make a try for one day, 1 week. It works, gone. And if it works well, let's implement it in real life. And I often say that metaverse is kind of lab. Let's experiment. Let's bring the best of ourselves all together. And let's do what it's not yet possible in real life, but let's act in a way to realize it. And even if it's the metaverse, it's already real, it's a reality, and then it will be easier to bring it in real life, and to let I say it, each one, everyone, everywhere, taking benefits of this experimentation. It's
Amen.
really to end this day. It has been really intense. It's the perfect way. Athena, it's one more time, thank you.
You're
It's
welcome.
so precious to discover a person like you. It's inspiring, and really for me it's hope simply. So thanks again, and trust me, I will come back to you
Okay.
early next week because we have to discuss.
Well, happy
last
to.
last word, Athena, before we close this talk.
My last word is try. The metaverse gives us a place to try things. Burning Man, that's the magic sauce, is that we all get to try. You don't have to be an expert. Just try. Just figure it out and give it a go. And if it doesn't work, try again. There are no mistakes.
I used to say dare to try
Dare to try. Yeah.
and try
And that's
again.
what gives us hope.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Thanks to you. What a pleasure. It's for me, it's important moment. You can't imagine how much you already contribute to what we are trying to deliver. Thanks you again, and see you soon. Bye
Yes.
bye, Athena. See you.